Happy Independence, Nigeria. Today is October 1st. We celebrate Nigerians' emergence and march to independence. Aneke TV, in the spirit of patriotism and nationalism, bring you the voice of patriotic Nigerians, reeling out messages of hope, the way forward for a brighter future. Listen, relax, and be inspired.
We thank God Almighty for our dear country, Nigeria. Oh, hooray! Nigeria will be 65, and Nigeria is 65 years. That's a very milestone. That's a huge success for the country. I must tell you the truth, because if not any other thing, one may be thinking that by now, maybe there may not be anything existing like a country, Nigeria. But today, we are still on earth. Nigeria is still in existence. The political system is still there. The school is still there. Most reforms are still in progress and still in place. But I must tell us the truth. If it's a child, when a child is born, they will ask what age. After the first age, the second age, the third age, the fifth, and the child is still there. It is called the growth or stages of children, or stage of children in growth. But why it happened when the child is supposed to be running, the child is still sitting down or clawing? It becomes, in fact, it becomes a very big challenge, and an issue to be concerned to the parents or to the family members. Honestly, Nigeria by now, 65 years, supposed to be a big country, to come even more than US and other developed countries. But even today, I can even say that Ghana is even well transformed to compare our country, Nigeria. Though we still believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Hence the Lord still keeping us. We'll keep praying for our country for better tomorrow. But I must tell us the truth. No, we are not doing well. We are not doing well, and I want to give that plea to our political leaders, because actually, if Nigeria will be better tomorrow, it's supposed to start from the top. Whereas the top is not giving what it gives. That's when the top is not doing what they should. I wonder how the end will be. So I'm on this platform pleading, urging, and equally requesting that Nigeria should stand firm as it should be in order to overcome the challenges of future. And this future are our youths. If our youths are not properly taken care of, or are not properly handled, I wonder how the next future will be. More work is needed. We need more transformation in education, transformation in skill acquisition, transformation in ideologies, different ideas to come in, so that we can be able to get up to where we should, even over than Ghana, which is part of Africa. I'm using Ghana because Ghana is just an African country and just closer to Nigeria. Because I remember when Ghana were in Nigeria, and we were all screaming, Ghana should go, Ghana should go, Ghana must go, Ghana must go. Now most Ghana left Nigeria and they went there to develop their country. Today, our people still run to Ghana to educate, to acquire information, acquire education. You understand? But before we were saying Ghana, Ghana, go. So this time around, Nigeria, we should come together. We should come together to plan, and after that, and in that planning, make sure that things we are going out to get, we should try to know how we can make such available in our country, so that Nigeria will become the giant of Africa, as it has been in quotes, because they will say Nigeria, the giant of Africa. But when you come and look into what qualifies Nigeria to be the giant of Africa, you become astonished.
Nigerians, a happy Independence Day celebration. And thank God that we have survived till this time as a country. The happenings in the nation, God has kept us in one piece as a people. It was within this period of independence that we had our war, the Biafra Civil War, after which we all came together again as a country. And several things have happened so far after that, including all sorts of insecurities, all sorts of agitations, all sorts of banditry. And in spite of that, God has kept us one as a nation. So we need to be grateful to God for that. My take on how far Nigeria is that so far we have not done too well. And it's not because of the lack of God's gift to our country. We have had, and we still have, abundant mineral resources, more than many nations of the world, whether it is oil or gas or other minerals, including even gold. But instead of the oil bringing us good, it has brought us evil. It has become the only way to grow the economy. There is obviously no other way that this country is growing her economy. Every other thing that should be added to our GDP are largely unexploited. It is not because we lack manpower. God has blessed us with human resources. In fact, if you go overseas, the best of anything that's done overseas are championed by Nigerians. Whether it is in the area of science, in the area of medicine, name it. We see Nigerians are championing those places. In fact, because of the bad leadership we have had over the years, poor management of our resources, brain drain. Every year we churn out graduates that is good for other nations of the world, but not good for our country. Even those who are still within the nation, they are doing nothing. Youths are largely jobless, which is the reason why there is so much insecurity, because they are easy hands to hire. When the man is hungry, you promise him anything, he will join you. And that is why you see terrorism, banditry, having ready hands that can hire them. So far, Nigeria still remains the poverty capital of the world. That is shameful, because this country should have been one of the best countries in the world. Seeing the level of blessing that God has given to us, we have no reason whatsoever to be the poverty capital. The current per capita income of a Nigerian is not worthy to be mentioned. And the rate at which our naira depreciated has made our currency completely useless. And imagine where a coin of pound sterling or dollar, you go for 2,000 something. So you have to work for 2,000 something naira to be able to get one. So everything is just, our security is still very bad. You may have heard that bandits overran our military quarters, and they bombed even our military cantonment in Kaduna. Even though you people in the media are not talking about it, but it's a very bad sign. If that happens, what happens to these other smaller bases and cantonments? So we are at the mercy of bandits, terrorists. At the same time, our economy is so bad. People are scarcely finding food to eat. A lot of people have gone from 101. There is now 100 or 001. They just find something to eat as brunch, and then they wait for that brunch. They're not eating. Can't even eat food. But the other side to it also is that we are blessed with abundant lands, arable lands. We need to even wonder why we are not able to feed ourselves. Is it that we have gone so lazy, and it's actually a function of this oil problem I mentioned, that we are now lazy to go to the farms. But insecurity has now worsened it, because you go to the farm, before you know it, a terrorist will accost you in your farm and kill you. So everybody's running away from all sorts of things. So the nation needs help. The nation needs help. We need leadership. Well, the key role of the church, because we are the spiritual and moral compass of the country. The very first thing we owe this country is prayers. The second thing we owe the country is to be the moral compass for our young people. I'll tell you something, if the church is not existing, people will be eating themselves on the road. People are turned into cannibals because of the way things are now. It is still the thought of the church. It is the fear of hell and heaven, the message of the church that is still keeping the young people down. But for that, there shall be serious problem. But the other side to it also, that the church has been now forced back to start to play the role of government. You remember that during Upabi Aseka's time, they took over our schools, messed up the schools. No public school is functioning well now. The church was forced back into it about a decade now. Not because we have taken back our schools, no, but because we started afresh again to try to help our children to have a sense of another beginning. But that gap between the time they took it over and the time we started again has done a real damage to the country. And now, the government is not even helping the churches to improve on the schools and return the morality of our children. No, they even see it as competition. And the kind of levies and kind of taxes you see against mission schools and private schools tell you that, look, they don't want these people, and yet they are not able to provide anything meaningful for. Thank God for our governor now, Peter Mbavu, is tinkering on the smart school. But the smart school, 262 or so throughout the world, they are still upcoming very few will start this thing because the structures are not there yet. But when it is finished, it may help. But then there will also be need, because coming with technology and ICT and tech world is also smartness that may not be guarded by morality. So they also need the church to be able to have smart children, not smart criminals. Because you may have students who still these students with tech, they can do anything, they can mesmerize anybody, and it's possible for them also to turn out to be criminals. So they still need the church, still need morality. So maybe one of the things they must do will be to enable the churches come into those smart schools and be able to help the children know God, so that as they grow, as they grow up, they will not depart from their knowledge of God as they do well in school. Well, my personal word to Nigerians is that we should be patient. We should exercise hope. Hope, the Bible says, does not disappoint. Because hope looks and waits for things that are unseen. And things that are unseen are higher than the things that are seen. So let us wait, be patient with our leaders, and then hope for the best to come. And let us trust God. Let us not leave God. This country, our world is beginning to abandon God. A nation that abandons their God, believe me, they are heading for the precipice. Because it is only the fear of God that brings righteousness. It is righteousness that exalts a nation. So if you don't fear God, everybody will become an anarchist, and there will be no righteousness in the land. And when there's no righteousness in the land, believe me, that land is undone. So let us return to God and let us seek God. Last time we had to hold a colloquium on the Ezenwoke, Ezenwanyi, these prophets, which self-acclaimed prophets that you see everywhere. Some of them are not even Christians, but because they are poaching on the greed and the poverty of the people, they will hire a place, hold the Bible, shout Jesus, and do nefarious things behind the curtain, and then turn the face of our youths into criminality. Some of them kidnapping, of them organ harvesting, ritual murder to make money, and they say it is returning to their roots. And our findings in that colloquium was that most of the problems came from bad governance, bad leadership. The children are hopeless. They are trying to find meaning. They are hungry. Secondly, modern tech world has introduced quick fix money, where you can make money in thousands before without much work. And also the church or the mosque or the traditional institution must return our children to wealth creation through hard work. When you now make money without hard work, what are you doing? The messages of the church must change. There's nothing like anointing for wealth. Miracle money, there's something like that. The Bible says, seest thou a man that is diligent in his works? That man will sit with kings and princes and not with mean men. So you must be diligent, hard work, before you sit with kings. But these days they seek to sit with kings without working hard. Traditional institutions must eschew recognitions, chieftaincy titles in the village. And churches should also eschew awards to people with questionable characters. So we can return our country back to God. I can tell you, the years ahead will be better than what we have passed through now.
Nigeria will be 65 by 1st of October this year. If I should turn it the other way around, Nigeria is old enough to stand as a nation, to cater and care for itself without looking back or trying to borrow from other countries. And what will somebody say that is the cause? Mismanagement. I am saying that as a country, that our leaders should re-strategize and look into the basic things in our country. We are blessed in so many ways. We are blessed as a country all around. Is it in weather? Is it in mineral resources? Is it what the nature has made? We don't have like what we hear from other countries. Small time they will say a house will sink or water will overflow everywhere. We are blessed even in the crops that we have. In short, generally, nature, we are blessed. But the issue is, how do we manage all these things that God has given to us? It is a call for our leaders to look into what is going on in our country.
Well, congratulations, Nigeria, first of all. Congratulations, all of us. That Nigeria is aging to 65 now. A man of 65 should be regarded as a very old man and an elderly. You say the elderly age starts about 60, 65. So at 65, Nigeria should actually be in the elderly statesman level. My view so far, I want to say that Nigeria has come a long way, and we're happy that by God's grace, we are still here in Nigeria as one country, united in love in spite of our diversity. So it's a thing to celebrate. Nigeria has grown enormously in many spheres since independence. I know that at independence, Nigeria had a population of about 4.5 million people at independence. Now, Nigeria has a population of over 200 million. And going by the same extension, at Nigerian GDP at independence was $4.3 billion. Now Nigeria's GDP, at least as at the last rebasement, let me use the year 2020, Nigerian GDP was over $500 billion. Even though now with the devaluation, Nigeria's Nigeria's GDP has come down to about half of that, to about $250 billion, courtesy of our devaluation. So in all ramifications, I would say Nigeria has come a long way in terms of growth. But whether that growth is transcribed to maturity is a big question at this point in time. I believe, I'm an optimist, and so I believe that there is hope for Nigeria. The hope for Nigeria is that Nigeria is endowed with a lot of God-given potentials, human resources, economic resources, and so on. So Nigeria has really no reason to be a toddler in the Committee of Nations. By virtue of our population, we are supposed to be in the foremost of countries like China, like United States, Europe, and so on. But that population that we have, rather than being an advantage, is turning to be a disadvantage. Because in spite of the fact that we have a population of over 230 million, we have about 150 million Nigerians living below the poverty line who are fundamentally poor. So that's not encouraging. But going forward, I believe that if we have good leaders who are focused to take this nation forward, then Nigeria has a lot of potentials. We have oil, we have mineral resources, we have human resources. And these are what a whole lot of countries do not have in abundance. And with that in perspective, Nigeria has the potential to be one of the great nations of this world. Well, the advice I will give the leaders is the less attention we pay to personal acquisition, and the more focus we pay to the average well-being of the Nigerian citizen. That is what I believe will lead this nation forward. Right now, the youth, people I consider the youth, are probably more than 60% unemployed. And these are the energy, the people that have the energy of this country. The elderly people are busy burning down the potentials of this country by remaining in power, recycling themselves in positions of power and authority, and the young ones really don't have so much future. I don't see so much future at this time. So there needs to be a lot of turning around for this nation to be great. Well, the way forward, first of all, is in our, I will call it method or process of leadership selection. It is very, very screwed and unfortunate that the process of leadership selection throws up the mediocres in a country where you have a lot of the best in the world. Everywhere in the world, Nigerians are thriving, Nigerians are proving their mettle, Nigerians are distinguishing themselves. But when you come to governance, you find that we are throwing up people. The process is skewed to that extent that the best do not come out. So we find mediocres ruling over, I don't want to say the brightest of all what we have in this country and the rest of the world. There is a lot of hope. What the natural endowment we have as a nation gives us a lot of hope. Nigeria, like I said earlier, we have a lot of mineral resources. Our oil wealth alone is, if well managed, is enough to put this country at the top 5 or top 10 of countries in economic perspective of this world. The young ones have a lot of hope as well. At independence, the people who were ruling Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe was 55 years. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was 48 to 49 years. And the military governors that came after that, after the military coups, Aguiyi Ironsi was 39 years. Yakubu Gowon was 28, 29. These were people ruling Nigeria at that time. people in this bracket of age now are largely unemployed in Nigeria at this time. So I believe that if we go back to where we started, the youths are further empowered, and the youths realize that they have the energy and they have the education, they have the wherewithal to drive this nation forward. I think the sky will be a limit, going by the resources we have.
Concerning Nigeria at 65, is that first, we give God all the thanks and praise that we still have a country called Nigeria that is 65 years today. As much as I can tell you that the dreams and aspirations and expectations of the founding fathers of this country is still very far to be met. We are still grappling with a lot of challenges as a nation. We are yet to really have a nation, because a nation should have a common identity. And here we have a country with different nationalities. So the problem that Nigeria has been grappling with is so much. Today we have a lot of unemployed youths. Today we have insecurity. You cannot travel across Nigeria without having your hearts in the mouth. You have a lot of leadership crisis. We've seen a lot of our leaders that have done less to be desired. We've seen corruption taking the center stage of the government of this country. So successive governments, what we've gotten is nothing to really write home about. But like I said in the beginning, there is still hope. We thank God we are still a country, we are still a nation, and we are building a nation. So with hope that as time moves on, that we'll be able to correct the challenges we find ourselves. No nation or country in the world that have never had their own times of trials. So I think we are still on our own, and we are trudging ahead. By His grace, we will have light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, my major advice to our leaders in this country is for them to focus on the people. If God has given you the opportunity and the privilege to be on the seat of leadership, know that God have entrusted millions of people under your care to provide jobs for them, to provide security for them, to make life worth living for these people, to make education accessible to all the citizens of this country. We have the resources to do that. So my advice to our leaders is to be leaders with empathy, leaders that will lead the people, leaders that will turn things around for the greater benefit of the masses. But what I can tell the citizens is to keep faith alive, keep praying, and then be part of the process. The evil men celebrate because the good ones are silent, or they are passive. I encourage every Nigerian to be part of the process. Go get your PVC, vote for the candidates that will deliver the dividends of democracy. Vote for people you have their track records, people that have succeeded in their other endeavors and private endeavors as individuals. Do not entrust people you don't know their pedigree and background with the fate and prospect of this nation. What I will tell the Enugu is that yes, like I said before, we still thank God that we are celebrating independence. Whoever that is alive has hope. We believe that these challenges that we are grappling with in the country called Nigeria, that somehow we will overcome, and then we'll be able to make Nigeria to be that nation that our founding fathers dreamt of. So I am urging our people in the Enugu to keep hope alive and keep supporting the government. And as a Christian, keep praying for those in authority, because that is what the Bible has urged us to do. Leadership is not easy. You need to pray for them so that they will continue to be focused, that the Spirit of God will direct them to do things that will be beneficial to the common man.